WRTV 6 Indianapolis. This is Channel 6 News at 5 with Howard Caldwell, Barbara Lewis, weather with meteorologist Bob McLean, and sports with Ed Sorensen. Now, live, WRTV Channel 6 News at 5.
This is his last day as President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. He won the election in 1980, and now, after 8 successful years, he's saying goodbye. Good evening, Indiana. It's the end of an era in the United States. One of the most popular presidents ever is moving out of the White House.
And a new team, of course, is taking over. George Bush and Indiana's Dan Quayle will be sworn in tomorrow. And our Howard Caldwell and Dion Willis are there to cover the events for Channel 6 News, and let's go to them now.
Hello, everyone. We're here at the Sheraton, Washington, where the Indiana Society of Washington is going to hold its traditional inaugural gala, and a who's who of government and politics in Indiana will be here tonight.
And there are many galas such as these on this inauguration eve. This is the last day for President Reagan in the White House. He and George Bush bid goodbye today, a rather tearful goodbye.
Right. Meanwhile, over 9,000 young people heard from Dan Quayle today. This took place at the National Guard Armory at a National Youth Forum. The audience consisted of high school juniors and seniors from throughout the country.
One looks back in life, I'll be the first to admit I wish I had taken education more seriously. You get into that category of things that you'd like to do differently. Seriousness about education is something, I'll be honest with you, I wish I had done differently. But we know, George Bush knows, and I know the importance and the value of education today is even more important than when he was growing up or when I was growing up.
Quayle's alma mater was well represented today. The DePaul University band was there 24 hours before it would appear in that inaugural parade. So the DePaul band was doing very well, and everybody was happy.
And I think Dan Quayle and his wife Marilyn are quite pleased about the Hoosier airlift. They feel there are quite a few family and friends here. He has been living, though, under the microscope, and he says the family is weathering the pressure of the loss of privacy, but it has been difficult. There's been a quantum leap, obviously, from junior senator from Indiana now to vice president-elect. He tells friends and skeptics alike, though, watch me. But he does admit that this whole experience has toughened him.
It does toughen you. It forces you to look inward. You examine your strengths. You examine your weaknesses. I have learned from that experience. Looking back, the experience was good for me.
The last 5 months have been a public trial by fire for Dan Quayle. He says he's not bitter. The experience instead has made him examine himself more critically and to learn to be both more patient and more cautious.
He understands that it's a long pull, that it's not necessary to prove himself or to turn around all the false images in the first 2 or 3 months. No question he got much more comfortable with the constant scrutiny, the need to be precise about every word if possible. So yes, he's more cautious, and that's part of political maturity too.
That new caution is evident. He's traded in the exuberant, spontaneous public style for one more measured. He sought out advice from Republican mentors, but others who've known him for 20 years say the inner Quayle hasn't changed.
He's a person who doesn't take himself all that seriously, but he's a person who is very intense about getting done those responsibilities that are laid on him.
In this city of insiders, his role now will be one of the ultimate team player, with all the stresses and frustrations that come with it.
I wouldn't say that I'm nervous, but I would say that I guess I'm not as sound a sleeper as I once was.
Dan Quayle, though, does have an advantage. He's one of the first vice presidents in recent memory to be able to serve under his predecessor.
A lot of problems with tickets, and apparently every state has been affected. Apparently a lot of well-meaning volunteers have had problems, caused problems, and so a lot of people, I don't know when they'll get it straightened out after this inaugural.
We'll be back with a lot more sights and sounds here at the inauguration at 6 o'clock. Back to you, Howard. Back to you, Barbara and Greg.
Okay, thank you both.